Hello, Heart Rockets. Welcome to our new week of art creating at home. With distance learning, I know it can be hard to stay creative and to stay artistic, but I want to help you guys to do that today. I have talked to a couple of your classes through Zoom and told you to start collecting recycled materials because this week we're going to be creating sculptures using those recycled materials, just like we've done in the art classroom, a couple of my classes with our Art Star parties, where Miss Span has brought in and collected a lot of different materials, and you guys get to use those to create sculptures. Today, we're going to be creating robots using all of our recycled materials, and I'm going to share my screen with you right now so that you can see some ideas and inspiration and what you're going to need to create this project. So when I'm sharing my screen with you here, we're going to look, at a lot of different ideas for how to create our robot. Here are some examples of robots in real life and animated or illustrated ideas. But what you're going to need today to create your sculpture is recycled materials. So things like a milk crate, a plastic top, to something like cheese or sour cream. I'm using toilet paper rolls. I've also got a box here of Cheez-Its that I have an egg carton. I have a thing of Coca-Cola. So whatever you can find at home, your things will be different than mine, and that's totally awesome. You can use little boxes, big boxes, cardboard, anything you have at home. I also have here tape. I've got my hot glue gun. If you don't have a hot glue gun, that's totally okay. You can use the tape or regular glue too. It just might take a little bit longer for it to stick. Remember, if you're using the hot glue, to be really, really, really careful with it and to have your parent help you. I also have a couple other tools like a hole punch, and I've got some papers here that are just small. I've got some bigger paper. I have other things like string, if you've got glitter, googly eyes, little metal pieces, anything that you have at home that you can collect for your robot is perfect. So start collecting and grabbing all your materials, and then we'll look next at what we can create. These are a few examples that you can be inspired by. These are made from all different recycled materials. You can see that some are using things like cupcake tins to make the arms or the bits of the legs. They might even use something like a laundry detergent box, a Kleenex box for the face. You can use aluminum foil to cover your materials to make them look like they are made out of metal. So there's a lot of options here, guys, for different ideas. I love these too. They are so fun and funny. You can give your robot a cool expression like he's surprised or she's happy. So you can really play around with your details and making your robot unique. The last slide is some inspiration and ideas for you here of all different robots and the different ways that they can look. No two robots are ever going to look the same, so everybody's is going to be unique. We're going to come back to Miss Span and the big screen, and I'm going to start to create my own robot. I've already cut a few of my pieces out here. I cut the big Cheez-It out of my box, and I've cut a couple things off the ends to make little strips of the cardboard here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my box or my milk carton as my body of my robot. I'm going to use my toilet paper rolls as the arms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut little cuts around the toilet paper roll, just a small cut. And then I'm going to fold it back. This is creating a foot on the toilet paper roll so that it's easier for me to tape or glue it down. So if you have something that's round, you can create these little feet on there, and that's going to make it a lot easier to glue it down. I'm going to do the same thing to this one. So just little cuts, probably 4 or 5 little cuts, and folding it back to make those feet. If you guys have made paper sculptures with Miss Span before, you know how to do this, how to make those little feet to glue on. So now I'm going to use my hot glue gun, and remember I'm using this really carefully. So I'm going to put a little circle of glue on there, and then I'm going to press down my arm, and I'm going to hold it on there for probably about 10 seconds. I want the glue to dry before I flip it to do my other side. I don't want any hot glue falling out on me. If you have to press down and touch the glue, don't touch it with your finger because it could still be really hot. So you can use something like your scissors to press it down, a pencil to press it down, anything that is going to give you where your hand isn't touching it, because that can be more dangerous. All right, now I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to do my arm on the other side. So I'm going to do a big circle of glue here, and then I'm going to press down my other arm, holding it for about 10 seconds. So I've already got a pretty awesome body started here. If you want to cover your boxes or your toilet paper in paint, if you want to cover them in paper, any material that you can add color with is awesome. So now I've got my arms started here. I cut part of my egg carton. I cut the top in half, and then I cut that in half again to make my two legs here. So I'm going to glue my legs on. So I'm going to flip it over here and put 2 dots of glue on the bottom. If you don't have a hot glue gun, you can use tape to do this. You can use anything you have at home. So I'm going to press it down there. Remember, I don't want to use my fingers, so I'm going to use the scissors to press it down like that so that I'm not burning my hand. I'm going to put my other one on here. Oh, there, I got to flip it upside down there. And using my scissors to press down on there so I don't burn my hand. If you use regular glue, you might just have to hold it a little bit longer or use tape to help reinforce it. So now I've got a pretty awesome body started here. I'm gonna add my Cheez-It to its body front here to make it have a Cheez-It face, because why not? I think it looks pretty funny. If you have something totally different, you can do that too. So I added a little bit of my Cheez-It face to the front. And then I'm gonna use bottle tops. These are just from a soda can. If you have water ones, whatever you have, you can use those for creating the eyes. So I'm gonna glue my eyes on here, just like that. He's already looking pretty cute. I can use my paper and cut out a mouth. So I'm gonna use one of my pieces of paper here, and I'm gonna cut sort of like a rectangle, but with a curve, like that. And I'm gonna glue that down too. Just a little bit, like that. Oh my gosh, he's looking pretty awesome. I'm gonna add some antennas to the top of my robot here. So I'm gonna add little bits of the red cardboard from my Cheez-It box to add little antennas on. And you can keep going. The more details that you add, the better. So I could add things like a hat to the top with my plastic here. I could even make this part of like an island for it to live on. You can cut out pieces of the egg carton to add extra 3-dimensional details. And you can also cut out paper to add more details on too. So keep going and add more details. The last thing I'm going to show you guys how to make today is, I'm going to set my robot down over here so he can chill. I guess he can chill up here. Is I'm going to show you how to make a rocket out of the paper and a bottle. So I have my soda bottle here. It's a big one, but you could do this with a water bottle, anything that you have at home. I'm going to use tape for this one. You could also use the glue, but either way works. I'm going to wrap my bottle in a piece of paper here. And if it's not big enough, that's okay. This will be the back, so I won't see it. I'm gonna tape my paper on, just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. just like that. So now on the front, it is covered. Then I'm going to take my other piece of paper, fold it in half, and I'm going to create my 2 wings of my rocket, because we are the heart rocket. So I made it kind of into like a shark fin. It looks like a do-do-do-do-do-do shark fin. And I'm going to glue this on, or tape this on the back here. So I'm going to cut another little piece of tape. And I'm going to rip that in half so that when I tape it on the back, I'm taping it to the front. You can also do this with cardboard. Cardboard would make it a little more sturdy, so you can make the wings with, oh, it's a little crooked there. That's okay, I can change it. So you can always change it, especially if you use tape. You can always adjust it and make it different. So now I've got my rocket body there. I can cut out things like a circle. I'm going to use this piece of paper that I had used on my robot before. But I can add extra details on to the front. I could add lots of little details there. I could even make a cone to go around the top to add to my rocket there. So there's a lot of ways that you can make your rocket even more, whoop, that's still a little hot, even more awesome. And then it can fly away into outer space, maybe to hang out with your robot alien. I hope you guys are having fun at home, creating these things, getting a little bit of recycled materials rather than it going in the trash, that it can be having a new life as a piece of artwork. So have a great day, you guys. Please send me pictures and videos of what you create. Miss you guys. Bye.